Hi, I'm Chris Ryan, welcome to the Forest of Arden. Today's video is all about how you can hit a draw with the driver. So this is definitely a shot which a lot of golfers strive for. They would often love to be able to stand on the tee and just hit that shot that just starts at the right hand side, just moves back, lands in the middle of the fairway, skips down there, because they believe it's going to give them a little bit more distance. And many of the golfers who are watching this will experience shots which go left to right and miss the fairways too often. The good news is the theory is very easy. The application is a little bit more difficult, but we're going to go through both of these today and give you a few little tips and ideas that you can use next time you play, which are hopefully going to help you get a little closer to that shot. So the first thing we need to establish where we would like the ball to finish. Now I'm on the 17th hole here at the Arden. It's par 5. It is a slight dogleg round to the left, so it's a perfect opportunity to hit that right to left shot. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick where I want that ball to finish, which is, you know, just left side of that fairway. There's a tree down there which I've got my eye on, which I'm looking for that ball to finish. So if that's where I want my ball to finish and I want it to be on a right to left ball flight, what actually needs to happen at impact? Well, the first thing that needs to happen is we need to hit the middle of the golf club. If you hit off center, we can't necessarily control the curve. Towards the heel, we'll fade. Towards the toe, we'll move on a right to left. So the first thing would be we need to make sure we're getting centered contact. If you're not getting centered contact, the things that we go through in this video may not manifest themselves in the correct ball flight because the stripe will override that. So first of all, let's get that centered contact. If we can assume that we have got a centered contact, what we then need is relative to where we want that ball to finish, which is our intended target, we want the path of the golf club to be somewhere to the right of that. How much depends on how much we're looking to curve the ball. When my path is to the right of that, at impact, the club face or the sweet spot needs to be pointing somewhere between where my path is and where my intended target is. So you can see just in that area there. Now, we're not going to be too precise because it will depend on the club that you're trying to hit. Obviously, we're hitting driver. So where that club face is relative to the path will be different through the bag. And that's where, unfortunately, golf is very, very difficult because one swing, unfortunately, does not work with all your golf clubs. But if we can create an impact where our club path is to the right, our club face is closed to that path, but really importantly, it's open to our target. So in between the two, provided we get that centered contact, our golf ball will curve right to left. That is exactly what we're looking to do. So as I said, the theory is pretty easy. Application, a little bit more difficult. So let's go through it in that order. How do we move the path to the right? Well, the obvious way would be to actually change where we aim our body. So let's say I wanted to set up at the middle, and I swing and my path is 0. It's exactly where I intend that target to go. I can't draw the ball from there. So the best way for me to get my path to move to the right is actually just to aim my body to the right. Because if I now make that same golf swing, what feels to me like a normal swing has shifted my path out to the right simply because that's where I've aimed my body. So the first thing we're going to get you to do is actually align yourself up the right hand side. How far up the right is really going to depend on how much you are looking to curve the ball. And really a little bit of practice at the range or your own course is going to help you before you take this into, let's say, a competitive round of golf. So I would actually pick something up the right-hand side that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go, there's a tree up there on the right. I'm going to use that as my target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself up as if I'm going to hit at that. And when I'm actually going through this process, I'm not concerned with where I want the ball to finish. I'm trying to get myself as comfortable as I can and set up exactly at that point that I've picked on the right-hand side of the fairway. From here, if I make my normal golf swing, my path should be to the right. Unfortunately, this is only as long as you have a fairly neutral path in your normal golf swing. We're not going to cover that too much today. Right, we've got our path at the right. What we now need to do is get the club face to point to the left of that. Now, there's two ways we can do this. For me, these two ways are depending on, the golfer, the skill level, and a little bit of experimentation. Okay, the first one, which would be definitely for the higher skilled golfer, and this one maybe takes a little bit more practice, would be just to start from here and just make a golf swing being aware that I have to return the golf club a little bit more closed than what it was at the start. So I just have to use my skill as the golfer to deliver the golf club with a club face which is closed to where I feel like I'm swinging. Now, as you can see, that might be for the higher skilled golfer, it might take a little bit more practice. The second method would be where we actually preset the club face. So I'm going to align myself to my new target of the right hand side. That's going to make sure my path is out to the right. But I'm actually going to, at setup, I'm going to slightly close the club face and then take my normal hold. So when I look down now, I see the golf club pointing left of where my body is aiming. So I've kind of preset what I want to happen at impact. Now, the problem with this technique is that because the golf club is slightly closed at setup, almost through the golf swing, the club can feel different because we're slightly changing the alignment of it, the weight, the balance, all those things can feel slightly different. And certainly when I play shots on the golf course and try and draw it, I feel almost a little bit uncomfortable doing that. So what I would always say to all the golfers that I coach is there's different ways to get into the end result. What you would do, whether you would try and align the face through skill or whether you would try and do it at the start, would not be based on what I tell you in this video. It would be based on evidence that you gather during your practice. So following this video, if you're looking to hit that right to left tee shot with the driver, get yourself down the practice area, get yourself down the range and try both of those. Almost carry a notebook with you and just make some notes of what your results are and base your decisions on the course on evidence that you've gathered during practice. It would be very difficult for me, almost impossible for me, to tell you which of those is going to be better suited to you. For me, all I do is I aim at the right-hand side and I just try and deliver the golf club a little bit more closed at impact, believing or knowing that's going to make that ball curve to the left. You might want to do it when you preset the club face. It's really down to you, your golf swing, your evidence that you gather, and how you can do that. Ultimately, all we're trying to do is we're trying to deliver a golf club where the path is somewhere to the right and the club face is slightly closed of that. If you can do that and hit the middle of the golf club, you will be able to draw the driver. I can guarantee you that drawing the driver is not based on flexibility, it's not based on skill, it's just based on understanding the impact conditions that you need and understanding what you have to do in order to achieve them. There is not one golfer that I've seen who I don't think can draw the golf ball. It's just a case of getting out there, a bit of practice, getting comfortable with the new moves if they're not already established, and then hopefully you'll feel more comfortable doing it on the course. Right, let's go ahead. All I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my target up the right-hand side. That's where I'm going to set my body aim. Now, if I just made a normal golf swing, this ball would go straight right and miss the fairway. So I'm going to do what I do on the course, which is use my skill to deliver the club face slightly more left and get that ball moving right to left down this par 5. And that's absolutely perfect. Nice right to left ball flight, really helps me get that ball further down this par 5 because of the shape of the hole. And I reckon relative to a straight shot, that's probably gained me another 10 yards off the tee. That's one club less into the green, closer to the hole. That's definitely going to give me a much better chance of making a birdie. I might even have an eagle putt. Right, hopefully that helps. Theory, understand that, understand how you apply it. Practice at the range, go through those two different options, see which one works for you, get comfortable, take it to the course, and hit those nice draws off the tee. Thank you for watching. Usual stuff is down below. Like button, should say. There's a comments box. There's also a link to subscribe. Click on that. Free notifications. Each time I upload a video just means you won't miss any of the content. Thank you again for watching, and we shall see you again soon.